Hello Internet, welcome back to our ToME Writhing One playthrough. I'm here on the microtransactional shop because, over the weekend I was thinking about ToME. And I was getting angrier and angrier. Like, normally when I think about ToME, I'm like, oh man, I can't wait to play ToME. ToME's so great. And then I started thinking about how I spent $20 to get all the DLC. And how people keep telling me that a lot of the lore is sourced from the community. It just didn't seem right to me that you would charge money to use other people's works as part of your game. And then I was frustrated because there was a microtransactional shop, and I thought, maybe I'm not giving it a fair shake. Maybe I need to go and look at the shop and see what they have on offer. And honestly, I wasn't wrong. This is absurd that this is part of the game, especially after a lot of people pay you for the DLCs and things like that. What I do like is that, here we have two options that are $2. This will spawn a zone on a server-wide basis, so everyone in the game currently would get the benefit of this, which I think is an interesting concept. But ultimately, I think that charging for some of this stuff is pathetic. I think that that's a real shameful thing for you to do. And so the more I thought about it, the angrier I got. And I'm looking at it, and I'm just disappointed that it even exists. So I know we talked about that in a previous episode a little bit, but it was bothering me over the weekend. I've been sick, so I couldn't record. So I took a couple of days off there, and I'm feeling much better. If you can't tell, my voice is a lot more steady. My throat isn't bothering me as much. Still need to drink a lot of water, but I'm doing okay. So, here we are. We're the Writhing One. Okay, sorry about all that. I know some of you are not going to care. Some of you are going to say that I'm being too nitpicky, whatever. But it is what it is. It frustrates me. I think it has no place in a game like this. And I think it's a shameful cash grab. So, let's look at our character. In between episodes, I did look on YouTube. Come on now. At someone else doing a Writhing One playthrough. And what surprised me is that, number one, they completely badmouthed the shield ability, which, in my experience, has been doing a lot of work for us. And currently, it can absorb 200 damage, which is basically our entire health bar worth of damage. And it lasts for 7 turns, and it has a cooldown of 10 turns, which means we can keep it up pretty much all the time, which I think is really good. And they really didn't like that, and they immediately beelined for the pustules, which I had been looking at and I thought were very not good. So, once again, every time our shield ability loses 39% of its max power, which since we leveled it up means, what's 39? So 70 damage. Anytime this takes more than 70 damage in one shot, it doesn't say in one turn. So each time we lose 39% of max power over any number of turns, it would trigger. Or you take damage over 15% of your max life, you gain a putrescent pustule for 5 turns. And this gives you a flat resistance to everything by 1% and up to 3 at once. And I imagine that goes up to 5 or something as we level this up. And the resistance scales with our spell power, but we're not really ever going to have a really beefy spell power because I don't think we use spell power for anything. We do need magic to unlock these trees. You'll see they have a magic requirement. But I'm not really seeing much that interacts with our spell power, or maybe there is and I'm just not seeing it. But whatever, flat resistance seems pretty good. And then this gives darkness damage, but it's so low that it doesn't seem very valuable. And in order to use this, we have to lose our flat resistance to everything. But it does heal you very slightly. And then this one, you make your pustules explode. You leave a pool of defiled blood on the ground for 5 turns. Called blah blah blah, dealing 10% darkness tentacle damage and covering them in your black blood for 2 turns. While you're covered in black blood, they heal you for 5% of damage done. I mean, that's pretty interesting to have that healing as they do damage. It negates a lot of their damage. Unfortunately, the tentacle damage is never going to be as good as our weapon damage. That's the other thing. The person playing kind of badmouthed this ability, and I thought this was one of our key abilities because it's basically giving us a free tentacle attack at all times. Same with this. they kind of said like, oh, this is just okay. And I had read this and was like, man, this is really good. So I feel like maybe I don't know. They also didn't like the Chaos Tree, which, again, struck me as something that, now that we're getting these on the regular, seems super valuable to me. And so I'm really questioning, maybe I just don't know things about ToME, and I'm going to embarrass myself on this character, as I often do. Oh boy, I made it through 5 minutes without having to take a break for a drink. That's pretty impressive. So we defeated this nerve ending, and we got to level 6. Also, they were like using exploits to quickly level up instead of doing what we did, which was to naturally level up to fight the maggot brain thing. They went and they drowned NPCs, and I thought, like, why are you even playing if you're just going to exploit your way to, like, exploit your way forward? Why would you play at that point if you're just going to ignore the way the game's supposed to be played? Okay, so my throat's not perfect. Just ignore the cracking a little bit. So we don't have any gloves, is what I'm looking at. And again, I don't think that ammo ever gives a passive bonus. When wielded warm, ammo reloads per turn. Yeah, it's not helpful. We don't have anything in our tool slot. Do we have anything in the tool slot? No. Okay. We'll want to pick up a wand or something. This Summertide file seems really good as well. It gives 15 light damage. In fact, we should have seen that when we were fighting. 19 light damage, 8 light damage is great. Our tentacle deals light and dark now, which is interesting. How do we... I guess we teleport out of here. It did give us the Rod of Recall. Why don't we go to the world map? Let's explore Kroshkar. We haven't really looked around in there, so why don't we'll go do that. Did we look at these infusions? We're going to hold on to these because I don't know if we looked at them or not, and I don't want to risk falling behind with that. So let's look at our healing infusion for 100... Scales with strength, cooldown of 13. 50, cooldown of 12. So this is double the efficiency for only one less cooldown. So we're definitely going to replace our healing infusion with that. That is excellent. So let's look at the regen. 60 life over 5 turns. It does not scale with anything. 17 round cooldown. It's less health, and it's a significantly larger cooldown. We don't want that. So here's Kroshkar. This is our little sanctuary of darkness. And you'll see there are a lot of named enemies here, and there's some rocks we can move out of the way. All these named enemies, as far as I can tell, are vendors. So if we look, the one that defends sells armor for the sanctuary. Maybe we can pick up some boots. Just regular old boots. Or not boots, we need gloves, right? I've already forgotten. We have a lot of stuff in our inventory. Do we actually want any of this? This is identical, but it's dex instead of strength. We probably could do with dex over strength, because we put points in strength, and dex will increase our accuracy. I mean, we can ignore it, I think, because we're taking combat accuracy, whatever that ability is called. Cloak. I'm just going to trust that I've already looked through these and I know what I'm doing, so we're just going to transmog this stuff. Why can't I right-click you? You don't right-click. Okay. Transmog, yes. Is there a way to do this without having to... Let's, we hit enter? Yes. Okay, transmog now. And oh, no. Enter does not work. Never mind. Never mind. Okay, get rid of longsword. We can get rid of this regen as well. There we've cleared our inventory a little bit. And I didn't look at my character inventory. Yes, we need gloves, not boots. We need gloves. Fortunately, all he has is basic gear. Is the one armor worth 7 gold? I don't know that it really is. Let's sell these as well. Get these out of here. Okay, my voice is cracking a little bit. I was only going to record 1 or 2 today anyway. Regen of the psychic, no. It's a slower cooldown. Shielding rune of the duelist. Activate the rune to protect. 84 damage for 4 turns. Scales with dex. Is really not something we want. I feel like I should be taking shielding runes instead of having all these healing and such, but I don't really know. So all these named do different things. So here is the Conjointed, which sells apparently tools, which is good. We already have a really good lantern. But we could pick up a pickaxe to get some passive bonuses. This would give minus 4% fatigue and plus 2 strength, plus 1 strength, and plus some nature resistance and damage. I don't think that's super useful. And it's like a third of our gold. I don't think it's worth it to get 1 or 2 points of strength. What do you got going on? Stabs. Well, that's not really for me. Weapons, but they're all white, which we don't want. Where does this go? Nowhere. Okay. We'll check out the other vendors. I'm not sure what the particle effect right here is. Doesn't seem to do anything. Not really sure what the deal with this statue is either. We can't interact with that at all. What else we got? Oh, one of those codes for the strange portal, I believe. Why don't we write that down? 3 horizontal, a triangle, a circle, 3 vertical. We'll write that down just in case we live long enough to get there. What do you do? Literally nothing? Okay. What about you? That which teaches history. Okay, some more lore pieces, which we at some point will probably buy, but not currently. Gonna spend our money for that. So let's just teleport back to the main world. There's really not that much here. Thought maybe we could pick up some quests and things. Does not look to be the case. Where do we want to go? Did we clear out the boss on this? I don't think we did. So we'll just real quick. We're level 6. I don't think it's worth it to open these in the early game because we're so... I mean, we're not a particularly fragile class or anything, but they can spawn named enemies, which can be very, very difficult. So I think it's generally better to wait until you're several levels ahead to open those, which I guess we are. We'll go open it. Because we're level 6. This is like a level 1 area. Like one of the first dungeons you would go into. Object rolls from the chest. A ring. Great, we didn't have a ring. It does say of misery. 10% chance to reduce all saves and defense by 8. But it deals 5 damage on melee. And then that's it. Oh. Okay, because we're never going to use ranged attacks. Activate talent, bleeding edge, placing all other charms. Do 144 weapon damage. Target will bleed for 276. Sounds really good. But I don't love the reducing saves and defense. Maybe I don't know how valuable saves and defense are, so I can't really evaluate that very well. But I feel like I should not be wearing that ring. So let's just look for the next level. Yeah, I've been sick. If you haven't noticed, I've been sick. Took a break yesterday. My niece was around, so I thought like I didn't want to record when there's a kid running around the house and things. And then today, you know, I'm feeling a little better. I thought I'd record an episode or 2 of ToME. Honestly, I've been playing Escape from Tarkov yesterday. I got into it. I thought I wouldn't like it because it's PvP, and I really prefer PvE, you know, fighting AI and stuff. But I had like one good run, and I was hooked, and I was like, man, I want this. I want to play more. And then it turns out that they had a big update today, so all my progress from yesterday is just gone. And then today I went to update, and it wouldn't let me update because I guess there are a million people trying to update. We need a belt, yes. Light and dark resist, sure. I mean, it's not better than what we have, but I mean, it is better than what we had, but it's not good. We can scrap that stuff. And so, like, it wouldn't let me update for several hours, and now I'm updating, but because there's so many people trying to update because they broke it, it's only going at like 100 kilobits a second, and it's like a 7 gig download. So like I've been doing it for hours, and I'm at like 12%. And they have the nerve to be on Twitter and say like, oh, hey, you know, we're fixing some problems with the game. Don't worry, it's not going to stop running or anything. And people were like, literally hundreds of people on their Twitter were like, what the fuck are you talking about? It hasn't been working all day. Don't tell us that you're fixing it and there's nothing wrong. You know, like, it's just the way that they said it really aggravated me, because like I just want to play the game. You know, I've been sick. I didn't want to record. Just wanted to play a game I recently discovered that I thought would be fun, and then it's broken all day, and they have the audacity to be like, "Oh, it's fine. You know, we're not going to let the game go down. Don't worry about it." It's like you already did let the game go down. It's not working. Let's jump at him. This will have the added benefit of covering him in gore, which reduces his damage by 70% less for this turn. Now we want to pop our shield, which... Sorry about that. Phone call in the middle of my recording. So that did not use an action, and now we want to engage, right? We have our shield up. We're doing fine. Shield Arcane. What's the 8 in the background mean exactly? 205. I get the 205 is 205, but I don't understand what the 8 means. It's not the icon. Okay, it doesn't matter. Fusion Saturate. Yeah, it's fine. So we want to engage him immediately. Let's use... Oh, what do you do? Call light. Yeah, I don't want that. Let's get that out of here. Burr, it's so cold. The Santascape has come. It's an event to celebrate the end of the year. Look for a snowman. Dude, it's October like 25th. Why? It's October. It's not even Thanksgiving yet. Do not start with the Christmas nonsense. Look for a snowman on your world map. This even, because you can't put event, God forbid, will be sent regularly during the festive days of the year's end. Level 15 recommended. So let's, I'm going to write that down. Level 15, because he said recommended, not minimum or anything like the nonsense on the world map. So maybe level 15 is actually appropriate for that level. I do wish, for fuck's sake, just spell check your stuff. Like, I know I keep harping on that, but it's such a huge pet peeve of mine. You made a game, you charge people money for it. Do a quick grammar check. Like, spell check, grammar check. For the love of God. It takes 2 minutes out of your day. So we want to use this ability because it will deal additional damage. What does lick do? I kind of want to undo our lick point here because it just doesn't seem very good. I mean, we need 1 point in it anyway if we want the higher tier ones. They take 100% tentacle damage, which is okay. It's less than our weapon damage. They gain a random disease for 6 turns that deals 9 blight damage per turn, which is pretty negligible. Reduces strength, dex, or con by 4, also extremely negligible. And it takes a turn. Let's use our whirlwind ability, because that deals a fair bit of damage. Hits him for 133, and... Oh, why did it not? Our other attack might have missed. Mana thrust. We only hit him once. We should have hit with both our tentacle and our weapon. So I'm guessing we just missed one, which is okay. Our things are going up. Let's lick. Although I don't think that that's a very good attack. Here we're surrounded by his cold water, or whatever it's called. Damage shield is holding out okay. That cooldown is ticking down. I think all we have left to do is bump attacks. See if we can't cure ourselves of being frozen. Taking a lot of damage. Let's do our instant heal. He is mostly dead. We don't have any ranged abilities. We'll bump, and we're going to just hope for that cold... Okay, I was going to say our shield to come back. Of Trolls and Damp Caves, updated. The other one, we have to check out the Troll Mire. That's fine. That fight was a little closer than I would have liked. I'm not really sure why it was so tough. I didn't look at his level. Mighty Girdle. Mighty wards against expanding girth. Whatever the source of its wondrous strength, it will prove of great aid in the transport of awkward burdens. So I'm guessing encumbrance and strength maybe. Armor plus 4, fatigue minus 10%, maximum encumbrance plus 70, which is such an irrelevant thing to have. Plus 40% knockback immunity, we do get knockback a lot, and maximum life plus 40. All of that, some of that is useless, but some of it is much better than light and dark resistance. So like 40 life at this level is pretty invaluable. And knockback immunity also will probably save us a few headaches in the future. Let's check these boots. Armor, life regen, healing mod. Armor, infravision, 25% movement speed. What is our current speed? How do we look? Global speed 100. Why is that not changing? How fast you are. Higher is faster, so at 200 you can perform twice as many actions. 200, you can move twice as fast. Movement speed is not that valuable. Global speed is what we would want. The ability to make multiple actions per turn. Even if we got movement speed up to 200, all we could do is move twice as often. But that's not allowing us to attack twice as often. Attack speed, 200%. Okay, so yeah, I'm valuing speed too much, including go level up, including this ability which increases our movement speed. That's not as nearly as valuable as attack or global or whatever speed. Yeah, so I don't think we want that really. Let's continue bumping our spell power. Increase our whirlwind ability. Pretty marginal boost to damage. I mean, it's not insignificant, especially because we don't have many active abilities. Second phone call in the last 10 minutes. Nobody ever calls me. Nobody has this number. It's just the robocalls. Very irritating. Yeah, what was I saying? Pustulant, we could start getting pustules, which might be beneficial, but again, they only increase our resistance, so it's not really something that is a huge benefit to us. It's a relatively low benefit as far as things go. 1 or 2% is not super significant. Horrific evolution. Mutations have enhanced your offense even further. You gain 8 accuracy and 8 spell power. That seems pretty good. Again, I don't think we use spell power that often, but accuracy would be great because we're going to be neglecting our defense, and to just get a plain old 8 accuracy seems pretty good. Could also get our spell for the pets, but again, these are so weak. I think they're really only good for blocking off enemies from approaching us, and since we really don't have ranged abilities, that's almost never going to be very valuable. What is this? Your face melts. Exploding in a targeted gush of blood and gore, dealing 18 darkness damage. 18 what? Oh, it deals 90 total damage, and 17 of that is darkness type element. In a cone over 5 turns, each turn the target will be dealt an additional 13 damage per disease. And the only way we have to apply disease is through our tongue. So we would use these two in conjunction. The problem is that that would take 2 turns of our life, basically. That we could... Oh, and it does increase with spell power. This also increases with spell power. So maybe that is more valuable than I was thinking. This doesn't seem like a lot of damage. Hitting for 100 or 90 total damage in a cone is pretty good. But I'm hesitant to use Lick because it's so bad. And it only gives them 1 disease. So we would only get an additional 13 damage out of it. Plus this effect. Let's just take the passive benefit. No, we really want more active abilities. We'll take the face explodey thing. Sounds great. Generic points. Weapon mastery, weapon damage by 10%. And that's it. Okay. Physical power by 30, we already have that. Increase the accuracy. Do we need another 12 accuracy at the moment? I don't know if we do. Consume the chaotic forces of 2 chaos runes, randomly teleporting you in a direction up to 8 tiles away. Always travel at least 2 tiles. Stop playing with your pen. I think we want the higher tier ones are more valuable. You trigger an explosion of your chaos orbs on a target. Orbs do no damage but confuse it for 6 turns with 10% confusion power per orb. Effective spell power used to overcome the target's mental save is also increased by 10. All of them are spent. I thought we could use these to heal. I guess we can't. Alter maximum negative insanity effect is reduced from 50 to 47. May activate this talent to consume any. Oh, these don't seem as good as I thought they were. It looks like the damage bonus is like the best thing we get out of here. Maybe we should take the teleport just for that little bit of utility on the off chance that we have orbs and we can teleport. Although it seems like most of the time when we would want to teleport, we wouldn't be able to anyway because we wouldn't have the orbs. 12%. Like that damage bonus seems like the best thing about them. I don't know about the higher tier of those abilities. In fact, we should maybe look into taking some other generic class trees, because these aren't super interesting to me and we don't really have good ones to sink our points into. Maybe that changes as we level. Anyway, we've cleared this dungeon. We should head back to the world map. Really not much going on. My throat is a little bit more rough than I expected it to be. Maybe I should not continue recording, although I really hate recording one episode and then stopping, because I feel like it takes me a couple episodes to get into the game. And if I play once and then bail, it's like, well, what was the point? You know, you're not going to get your head into the game long enough to really be anything beneficial. 10% lightning resistance, 21% stun and freeze immunity, plus 2 strength. I mean, we don't have an amulet, so we'll take that. We chose... Oh, that's right. So this movement speed is not super valuable to me. I do think we'll swap to the life regen and healing modifier. And then the cloak, what do we have? Defense, 2 will, 2 magic. Yeah, and mental save. Is the mental save worth losing 2 magic? It's such small values, I don't know how valuable they really are. We'll take it. I mean, I don't know. Alright, sounds fine. Back to the world map. We really should call the episode, though. Although I did have to cut out a couple phone calls. Well, whatever. This should be around 25 minutes. So, yeah, okay. So, yeah, I'll see you in the next episode. Thanks for watching. See you next time.